Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video. Now welcome to a Q&A. Haven't done one in a little while, like doing them. And I will say this was supposed to be a replay episode for the second video today. I've got a few of my games I want to do replays for. I want to watch some high rating players and break down how they play their champions. The really annoying thing is replays in League of Legends are still bugged. They crash every 5 minutes. And, you know, we did that episode a little while back that I kind of made it crash 3 times and just continued the commentary. I tried to do that, 10 minutes ago recording a replay. It just took the flow out of it. And I was like, oh, this is just getting annoying. So hopefully in the upcoming patch, they'll fix it and we'll be okay. But I will say, hopefully there's gameplay on the screen that if I've got a spare clip of something that I didn't use as a commentary. If not, you'll have my wonderful face. And yeah, feel free to minimize if there's no gameplay, or even if there is gameplay and you just want to listen to what I'm saying. Treat it as a podcast if you want. That is fine. And if you can do me a massive favor and throw a like on the video, and if you want, feel free to put comments, questions, or anything like that in the comment section below, and I'll have a read through when this video comes out. So the first one is, again, but predominantly this is going to be League of Legends questions, but there'll be occasional questions that are not. The first one is any news, I presume, on Clash mode? And the answer to that is no. I haven't been told anything, even though I'm under NDA with some things. I will just say, yeah, I've not been told anything. There is no news with Clash mode to at least my level of league partner, and I'm quite close to Riot, and I've heard nothing. I don't think that Riot, I think what happened was Riot underestimated, their server structure. That basically, if you're unaware, why isn't it working? Every time that they've tried to do it, the servers crash for League of Legends. I think more on the US than anywhere else, but they might be crashing other places too. But they just cannot handle the load of what they tried to do was right, at 7 o'clock, all the Clash mode games are starting. Well, there's thousands of games starting at the exact same time. The servers couldn't handle it. What they did then in another beta test, okay, we'll have servers that kind of at 10-minute intervals, your games will start. Servers couldn't handle it. I don't know why. But the servers just can't handle it. So if Riot want Clash mode to work, they need their back end to be so much more powerful that, until that happens, we won't be getting Clash mode. Next one is, what do I think is the hardest rank in solo? Wait, what do I think is the hardest rank to solo queue out of? Okay, the lower rating you are, the easier it is to climb. And again, it depends how good you are as obviously a player, because if you just simply belong in that rating, that's the rating you're going to be. But by general premise, the lower rating you are, the easier it is to climb. Of what I've experienced and what we've experienced so far in just this season, the Smurf account was iron at one stage, and my main account is, let's just say, high diamond. I don't want to give anything away for the Climb to Master series yet, but high platinum, low diamond, I'd say, is probably the hardest to climb right now for the abundance of reasons that we've spoken about. It's just a mess in that rating. It's full of, if you want to go of equivalents, Diamond 4, Platinum 1 now is full of people that were low Platinum last season, and Diamond 5 it's just a fiesta. There's people that don't belong there because of the early season. There's a lot of transfers in there. There's so many duo queues in there. It's just horrible. So I really sympathize with people that are in that kind of rating bracket. So much so that with the Smurf account, we've just stopped playing on the Smurf account. It just isn't fun. For me, someone that's high diamond on my main account, to just go, I literally cannot be bothered to play on that Smurf account right now. That says something. It's just not fun to play in that rating. So, yeah. Next one is, what is my end goal to the gym besides losing weight? That is the main goal. The main goal is just to be in a relative sense of well-being. And we're getting there. We took a picture of me with a Captain America shield for Comic-Con. I'll put it up on the screen right now if I remember. And people saying, "You God, you look a lot healthier than that." Because obviously you guys are just used to me in this view. Even in this view of me in the chair and the camera, if you compare me to a couple of years ago, I look a lot better now than I did. And we've been through ups and downs. The health issues are finally under control. I'm no longer throwing up every morning. So I'm ready to kind of make that big charge again. Last year we lost 20 pounds. If we do that again, I'll look a lot healthier as well. So I'm kind of bracing myself for that. I will say, so much so that I actually got recommended this stuff. I don't know if the camera's going to be big or small, so I'll just read it. It's Essential BCAA. So basically, I've always complained about my muscles and everything being really, really achy after gym sessions. Like, so much so, if I do a really good session at the gym, I can't do another exercise session for like another 3 or 4 days. So what this does, apparently, BCAA, is it helps the recovery of your muscles. So they fatigue less, they grow stronger quicker and stuff like that. So I'm starting this stuff tomorrow. I've got a gym session tomorrow, so hopefully that will help, and we'll see. But yeah, it's mainly just to kind of feel better about myself. Again, that should always be the end goal with losing weight. It shouldn't be for other people. It's not for you guys, because you guys are watching me anyway. It's for me. I grew up in shape, and I let myself get this way because there were just blah things going on. Well, now it's time to fix it. And we have been, but just kind of slow. What League merchandise has been your favourite, and what would you like what would I want Riot to do that they haven't with merchandise? I'm a bit... It depends your definition of merchandise. Something that I've bought or something that I've been given that is like of League of Legends, because my favourite League of Legends stuff is stuff that Riot has given me specifically. So right here over my shoulder, you can see a Masterwork chest. That is a replica League of Legends Masterwork chest. It opens. We did an unboxing on this channel with it. That was with MasterCard. That was a sponsorship with MasterCard. Yes, the global credit card man of people. That's awesome. That's really cool. I got... If it's down here somewhere, I need to hang it up, but it's down there somewhere. I got a League of Legends map piece sent to me by Riot. You know, they only handed out a handful of them. I was given one of them, so it's incredibly rare. So yeah, most of my kind of crazy memorabilia stuff is stuff that Riot has given me. If you were like, okay, go on something that you actually specifically have bought yourself, that it's up on the shelf there. I don't want to take it down, but it's the League of Legends art book volume 1, and I got the signed version, so all the artists of League of Legends signed the book. I think that's cool. I like art books, I like concept art, and that's the League of Legends one. And again, it literally says on it #1, and that was over 2 years ago. So where the hell is #2? I want all of them. I want to have a collection of all of them. But yeah, and then what would I want Riot to do merchandise-wise? Again, Riot, for having technically, and it's a technical truth, the biggest game in the world, their merch is really underwhelming. You know, they don't do that much. Blizzard, who, let's face it, has seen better days. That World of Warcraft is less than half the numbers it used to be. Overwatch apparently is also not doing great. Heroes of the Storm is practically dying. Diablo's going to mobile. So Blizzard as a company is struggling, you could say. Their merchandise store is ridiculous, and they have their own convention. Where's RiotCon or something? That would be awesome. I think League of Legends needs to get better with that type of thing. But merchandise that Riot could do, again, they could do a vast amount of things. I think it would be just nice, the general one. Their poster game is not great. It's just like old stuff that I don't think has been updated for like a couple years. They've got incredible artists at Riot. Why don't you bring out new posters all the time, or actual proper art prints, limited edition art? I'm a sucker for limited edition art prints. I recently got one from Sideshow Collectibles of Iron Man versus Ironmonger. It's signed by the artist, and it's limited edition, I think, to 300 copies. I got that recently. Do that with League. Do that without, like, give commission to the artists. Do signed versions of them. That would be incredible. Like, if your champion gets one of those limited editions signed by artists that did the design and everything, and it's your main champion, people would love that. Like, it would be crazy cool. So that is my big thing that I think Riot should do. Next thing is, what do I think of Gnar at the moment? Have I thought of picking it up? No, he's pretty weak at the moment. Gnar struggles from what Kennen and Jace struggle with, but those two just deal with things better. He struggles with meta top laners. The likes of Aurelia, Jax, Akali, the ones that can just jump on people, Gnar can't deal with. Again, Kennen, or Aatrox as well. Kennen and Jace have a difficult time with them, but they're just more, well, they're just stronger champions at the moment. Gnar isn't very strong. So you may, if you like Gnar's playstyle, you may as well just play Kennen or Jace. It's pretty much that simple. They're just in a stronger position in League of Legends right now. So no, I've not thought about picking Gnar up at the moment at all. Next up is if you are really good at Azir and a one-trick pony, does rank matter to make him work? Well, in the basic concept, if you're really good with Azir, you'd in theory be high rank. By just how that kind of works. So if you're in bronze, I would probably say you're probably not a very good Azir. Unless you're literally just starting rank and you're climbing ridiculously quick, then sure. But if you've played 300 games in bronze and you think you're a really good Azir, I'd question that quite a bit. Obviously, I don't know your situation, but yeah. Because like the other day, we were playing a Darius game and this guy was questioning what I was doing in the rating I'm in. And he was like, oh, I'm a great Darius. And it wasn't even me. Twitch chat was like, what rating are you then? He's like, gold. And the whole Twitch was like, so you're not a good Darius. It was like, but yeah. Again, play what you know you're good at. If you've got a great win rate with Azir, keep playing him. It's, personal win rates don't lie. That's the thing. At what point does a main become a one trick? Multiple things really. Percentage of games played. By Riot standard, if over 30% of your games are on one champion, you're a one trick. In official Riot's eyes, that is their definition. If you're wondering where's that definition from, every single year there is something called the Scouting Grounds that Riot invites challenger players. I think the top 6 roughly of their role, so the top 6 top laners, top 6 junglers, top 6 mid laners from solo queue to go to the LCS studios and play for teams, for the pro teams to scout. The first year they did it, all it was one tricks, and it was pointless because they got banned out. And what was the point in that? I know someone that was there, and it was literally like, it was pointless. It was just a waste of time. So the next year, Riot implemented a rule that you had to have something like 5 champions over a certain amount of games, and that you only could have one champion that one champion couldn't be over 30% of your games, because then Riot would consider you a one trick. So that is a relatively harsh opinion on it, if I'm honest. That's a competitive opinion. The actual, I'd say solo queue opinion, if 50% of your games are on one champion, I'd say that's a general rule of it. About half of your games are on one champion, or if literally you're just using one champion to climb. There was a great example on stream the other day that there was a relatively toxic Riven one trick, who knew, and she was the perfect example of a bad one trick. That she had 1,000 games on Riven, not even kidding, 1,500 total ranked games this season, 1,000 of them on Riven. So yeah, clearly a one trick. 66% of their games are on Riven. She had a 55% win rate with Riven. She had her top 10 champions, some of them had 100 games, 100 games on Darius, 100 games on Aurelia. Not even kidding, because I showed it on the stream that you looked on the left-hand side of her top champions played. Riven, 55% win rate. The next champions, all of them had negative win rates. Every single one of them. And it was like, well, there is the literal perfect example of someone just using one champion to climb. You got 55% Riven, then you're 45% Darius, 40% Aurelia, and they had, a significant amount of games on those champions. Just she couldn't win on them because she just relied on Riven. So that's what I'd say. If it's you and you're like, I just play that champion, or it's my only champion that I've got a good win rate with, I'm only using one champion to climb, that is when I'd consider you a one trick. Again, that can change. Everybody's got their own kind of definitions with it. There are some people out there that literally think a one trick is only somebody that plays literally one thing. Yeah, I don't think that's the case. The idea of it is being a one trick pony, that you've got one main trick. So yeah. Next up, I would like to know why the nerfs or buffs of champions is based on high ELO gameplay. To me, it doesn't make sense, since majority of the player base isn't in Diamond or above. The average player is in Silver. I am curious on why the nerfs and buffs on champs isn't based on low ELO gameplay. Because League of Legends is a top-down game. So I haven't mentioned it in a while, but I did a game design degree, a computer science game design degree, and there are different philosophies in gaming. You've got bottom down, that you're designing it for the masses. That a lot of those are mobile games, so you're designing it for the masses that everybody can get involved. It's a really low skill based. There's no skill involved. You got mid based game design that is it's for the average player. That would be what you're kind of wanting. Or you've got top down. You're designing it for the top percentage and then it trickles down. League of Legends is top down because the basic philosophy of League of Legends is it's a competitive game. The idea and what Riot always tries to emphasize is, hey, you should climb. Hey, you should play ranked. Hey, you should get better. And when the whole philosophy of the game is to climb, the rating that you need to balance that for is the place that people are climbing to. Also, Riot is incredibly invested in esports. It's arguably their biggest marketing tool. If you look in the numbers of what people watch MSI or Worlds, League of Legends rivals mainstream sports. I think the recent statistic was League of Legends beat the Major League Baseball final or whatever based on views, both concurrent and total. Like, League of Legends is a very big spectator sport. It's in the top 5 in the world right now, including all the other mainstream sports. So you can't have kind of fiestas happening at that level when that is the main marketing tool to the game. So it's for both of those reasons. It's the whole philosophy of the game is, hey, you should climb, hey, you should improve, hey, you should get better, and you can't get punished to that rating. Like, that is honestly why Dynamic Q went away in Season 6, because the people that were getting punished the most for it, the game just became a mess, was in high rating. And that's why whenever stuff in solo queue gets affected in high rating a lot, you hear outrage from high rating players, because that is where everybody wants to be. Or your content creators are higher rating, or the pros are higher rating. So the biggest vocal voice in the game, although, percentage wise it's a tiny amount, the biggest voice is high rating. So that's more or less why. So hopefully that answered the question. But yeah, it's good that League is a top-down game, if I'm honest, because it wouldn't be good if it wasn't. I think that's why League of Legends has stayed around for as long as it has, because it constantly changes to the ever-improving high-rating player base. If I was given a job on Riot's balancing team, what would your personal philosophy and approach at balancing the game would be? Ooh, that's a good one. What would my personal approach be? Fun with competitive thrown in. If something's anti-fun, I would want to get rid of it. But obviously anti-fun is subjective, and anti-fun and fun is also depending what you're playing and what you're against. For example, Akali, the rework, a lot of people would consider that champion fun to play, but she is incredibly anti-fun to play against. The same goes for the Aurelia rework. Really fun to play, really terrible to play against. So it's going to be hard to, again, this is the cool thing. You're never an individual balancing these things. You've got a team behind you. But what I would probably propose as a balanced person would be, that's anti-fun. Can we look at maybe changing that to be neutral, not anti? So that is one thing that I would probably do straight away. Another thing, just as a little bit, I would definitely go over their stealth again. Riot tried to change stealth a while ago, and they did, and then they, about 6 months later, ignored it all and just kind of forgot about it, and then implemented different stealths that they ignored their own rules. That's not healthy to do. So yeah, those are the two main things. I would look at anti-fun mechanics, or the ones that I personally think is anti-fun, but I'd propose it to the team of balance and see what we could come up with. And also I would look at the stealth mechanics. But again, it was a really interesting question, because it's something that you can't answer broadly for the most part, because balance should be both very specific, but also for the grand scheme of things. It's hard to do. It's an incredibly hard job to do. Next one is, have I ever thought about quitting YouTube and League full time and just become a pilot now? Yeah, for sure. A few months ago, I was a bit down, and I did think about that. But things have got better recently, and I do think a lot of it has to do with the health issues just improving. When you're throwing up every single day, and then you're logging into a League session and you do badly, or there's inters and feeders, mentally you're not great. It was quite stressful, and that's also around the same time that there was Twitch Rivals. My PC blew up. Like, there was a lot going on a few months ago, but things have calmed down. We are climbing on the main account. My health issues they're improving quite a bit with the medication I'm on now, so I'm pretty happy with where we are, both in YouTube and Twitch. And I am still considering buying the house. Brexit is an ongoing mess, but whenever Brexit finishes, I'll look at the housing market and just, I've got the money to buy a house, and just kind of decide, do I buy a house and continue doing YouTube and Twitch for, next couple of years, or do I go become a pilot? I will say, for those that wanting to kind of have a hint of which way I'm going, I am leaning towards the house. I am leaning towards buying a house because it's not just I like doing YouTube. I love it. There are negatives, obviously, but whatever. But when I go become a pilot, if I own a house, I can rent out the house. It's not like I'll be losing money if I do it smart. So, yeah. So I'm leaning that. But again, Brexit isn't... It's supposed to be happening later this year. Again, it's just such a mess. I have no idea. But yeah. Again, someone literally, the next question is, what am I plan if YouTube doesn't look like a long-term job anymore? Become a pilot. I've got the money to go become a pilot. So that. But yeah. What champion do I not like to see on the other team? Twitch jungle, Aurelia top. That's about it, I'd say. There's not really a champion that I'm really scared of. No, it's those two. Twitch jungle because it just tilts me because people play it who don't belong in the rating that they're in, so they got to cheese to do it. And Aurelia, I've just had a bad experience of Aurelia in the last couple of days. I just can't beat them. Their damage is just way too high. So yeah, those two. And then what champions do I like to see on the enemy team? Oh, wow. What champions do I like to see? The straightforward ones, always. Master Yi, Garen, Fiddlesticks. Like the ones that are just predictable. Udyr, Shaco. The ones that you just know. With game knowledge and just decision making, you know what that champion's doing. You're not surprised of what that champion's doing because they can't do enough. I love playing against those champions because that's my strength. My strength is knowledge and decision making. And that type of thing just rips those champions apart. Again, I've always said it. You literally, with Mordekaiser, you know, he's getting reworked, but the old Mordekaiser, you literally can't lose to a Mordekaiser if you think about what you're doing. But that's the problem, is most people in League are on autopilot and they don't think about what they're doing. So, yeah. If I had a one trick the rest of the season, what would it be? I'd quit League of Legends. Again, it's the same answer every single time. Again, there have been some people that have blown out of proportion recently at how many Jace games I've played. It's really not that many. If you look at my last 15 games on my main account, 2 of them are on Jace. So, yeah, again, we do have a couple crazy people watching, it has to be said. What are my top 3 favourite skins of all time? I don't really have favourites. Again, I'm somebody, I don't know if it's a personality trait or whatever, but I don't have favourites of things. I don't have a favourite car. I don't have favourite food. I don't have a favourite movie. I have things that I love and I enjoy, but I can't narrow it down into little groups a lot of the time. I just can't. That's just something that I don't do. So I don't know. What do I think about mages in top? Vlad, Cass, Rise. Some of them have a place in top lane, some of them don't. And usually it's the more beefy ones that do. So Vladimir, sure, he's basically an AP bruiser. Rise, he's borderline, but okay. Cassiopeia, not really. She'd be a cheese pick in top lane, so... And really squishy. So, yeah, it depends which type of one. What are my thoughts on Rek'Sai and Camille? Rek'Sai is pretty good, but did get nerfed. Camille, pretty weak at the moment, question mark. Again, I don't really see them ever doing amazing. We'll probably go for another couple minutes, and that'll be that. But what next? If you worked at Riot, what champion would I choose to rework? Because you enjoy that champ, but feel their kit is outdated. I don't think I'd play any champions that I enjoy, but feel that they need to get reworked. I just simply don't play them champs. Any champion that I feel needs to get reworked are the ones that I feel are kind of boring. Master Yi, Tryndamere, the kind of Garen, the really boring one-dimensional point-and-click auto-attack champs. I just find them kind of meh. And again, that's just me. You can have a different opinion, that's fine. Couple more. Let's see. What do we got here? What do I think of people that do mute all every game so they can be toxic without anyone replying? That's kind of a stupid thing, because they're still punished by the system. Again, there have been some people that have even questioned it, and we've proved it in the past that if you mute somebody, they still see what you're typing, so that's not really a thing. Again, I don't really see the point in muting all unless it's literally a proven game of it being bad, or you know you've got mental issues yourself. If you tilt or whatever with someone saying hello to you, then maybe League of Legends is the wrong game. If you're somebody that has to mute all before you start the game, then yeah, I'd say maybe go pick up a single player game. because chat is supposed to be part of the game, and mute people that are making your experience worse. But not every player is making your experience worse. And if you are in right now going, oh, they are, play a different game. I implore you to play a different game, because that's not good. And I would say the general gist of when people kind of mute all and they, are always in the mind frame, oh, it's everybody against me and they're holding me back. The common denominator in all that situation is yourself. You're the one that's always in that situation, so maybe it's you that's the problem, not others. Again, it's a generalistic view, but yeah, from what I've always seen over the years of playing the game, it's generally quite accurate. What steps do I take when learning a new champion? I've done videos about that topic, like videos itself, so I'd recommend looking that up, but it's generally watch people that know what they're doing on the champion, play the champion, do a bit of research with item builds and counter picks and stuff like that. It's known that Riot has another game in development. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just LoL Mobile. Again, I've not heard anything, so I'm not breaking NDA or anything like that, but it legit, I think it's League of Legends mobile version. That is so much so that Tencent, who owns obviously League and Riot, they have the biggest MOBA mobile game in China. Apparently they're dropping continued production on that game just for League of Legends mobile. Again, I legit probably won't play League of Legends Mobile, and I'll say it right now, if Riot come to me going, hey Huz, you're a League of Legends YouTuber, we'll pay you to play the League of Legends Mobile for a couple games, sure, I'll play it then, because it's League of Legends, but I have no interest really playing mobile games. I play Pokemon Go because it's not really a game, it's like a walking experience. I don't get mobile gaming. If I want to play mobile games, I'll play something on my Nintendo Switch, or I just play it at home. I don't need to be gaming on a bus, because guess what? I'm never on a bus. I've got a car. But I guess mobile gaming is good for people like that. But would you want to be playing a busy League of Legends game on a train or a bus with a dodgy internet connection? That doesn't sound very appealing to me personally. But I know obviously mobile gaming, and if we wanted to get into it, it's not a big thing in the West really. Mobile gaming is a big thing in China and that type of place, because consoles are expensive, and they, you may not be able to afford a console, but you'll be able to get a phone. So if you can have a phone and your League of Legends mobile or whatever, that's where the popularity comes, which I guess I understand that a little bit. What would you do to make League a better game for players and developers alike? Force the developers to play the game more. Honestly, sometimes with the decisions that they make, in my head, I'm like, they can't play the game, or they can't play it enough. Because if they did, they'd realize those changes are dumb. So that's what I would do. I would force the developers to play the game more. What do I think about Iron? And this will be the last question for this video, is what do I think about Iron and Grandmaster after a few months? Was it worth it? What about the 3 splits as well? No, I don't think it's been worth it. The mess of trying to get the percentages right in the balance has only made Diamond worse. Grandmaster just seems like there's more Grandmaster players than there are Master players, when it's supposed to be going smaller and smaller and smaller, so how the hell does that work? And then Iron is literally just Bronze 5 and a little bit of Bronze 4 in its whole rank. I don't think that was entirely needed, I guess, but meh. Yeah, I don't think it's been successful. Again, I don't think it's been successful though, because of how many mistakes Riot made in the early game. If it was smooth and they didn't mess up the MMR, then maybe it would be okay. But yeah, from my gut feeling right now, it's been too messy for it to be deemed a success. But that's going to be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Again, whether there was gameplay on or not, I don't know. If I've got any, great. If I don't, sorry. Yeah, let me know what you thought. Comment down below any questions you've got. Like the video as always, and I'll see you guys next time.